It has obviously been a big discussion this year whether Kirill Kaprizov should be eligible for such an award, considering he's not quote unquote a rookie, which he is an NHL rookie. At the age of 24, he is a rookie, having played 6 seasons in the KHL. However, people are having doubts on him, and they don't want to give us nice things, and it's upsetting.
They don't.
So our up for debate was, if you were to change it, are you going to would you change and limit the number of pro games? Would you keep everything the same as it is, which has no limit on those on KHL games? Rather, they have a limit. Obviously, if you had Nico Sturm, still technically considered a rookie. For those of you who don't know, I think he got just under the limit last season of games played, and that's regular season games too. I don't think playoffs count, because obviously plenty of young guys come in during the playoffs. And age limit, would you keep it down to 23 and under? Kirill, again, just turning 24 last week, but certainly plenty of 19-year-olds popping up in the league. Jason Robertson, I think, is 21, who's his big contender, in case you guys hadn't heard. So Alexis, what would you do?
This is kind of when I went on my rant. I was kind of like, this is a whole separate conversation. Like, you cannot talk about this in the realm of who deserves to win the Calder this year. If you're upset about the guidelines for what makes a person a rookie, that's a valid conversation to have. And that's what we're talking about right now in our Up for Debate. And I honestly don't see a reason to change anything. And the reason for that is the NHL, just like every other league in the world, men's and women's, are all unique in their own ways. So quite frankly, I don't really care if somebody played 5 seasons in the KHL or 10 seasons in the AHL. I don't care if you're 45 if you're playing your rookie season in the NHL. Every league is unique and different. And when Kirill came to the NHL, everyone talked about, well, what about the adjustment between the KHL and the NHL? Is that going to be hard? Now you all want to say the KHL is too similar to the NHL. Pick a side. You can only have one or the other. And when you look at the history of Calder winners and their ages, it is few and far between that somebody over the age of like 21 is kind of the sweet spot and below. Someone over the age of 21 winning is pretty rare, especially in the modern era, like the last 30, 40 years. I mean, the oldest player to ever win it was 31, and they changed the rules after that because of it.
I mean, that is too old. Let's be real. Like, I'm sorry.
That's a bit much.
Hopped on skates. Yeah, I'm a rookie, but I'm old.
Yeah. So it's like the kid failing high school, and he's like 25 playing with all the high school kids. Yeah. But so I don't really see an issue with it, because if it was constantly like 25-year-olds winning it, then it's like, okay, is there a disadvantage here to these young guys who truly are like still kids and coming into the NHL? That's a valid question, but it's not happening frequently enough, in my opinion, for them to look at this and say, oh, there's a problem. And he's still a rookie in the NHL. That's the guidelines of being a rookie. And I don't see a reason to change the age. Nobody was up in arms about it when Panarin won it at age 24. Was it maybe because he played for the Chicago Blackhawks? I'm on to all of you. Don't think you're going to get away with that.
I mean, and people did get pissed about that. I do recall a little bit. There was some animosity.
But what do you think, Jesse? You think there's a change that needs to be made?
I mean, obviously not this year. You keep it the way it is, goddammit. Like, I'm sorry, we're not making things different.
They just change it in a week. They're like, yeah, by the way, you have to be 23 or younger.
No, I mean, I lean toward keeping the same, I guess, of those options. If I had to say limit the pro games or age, I don't mind 23 and under, because you are seeing more and more young guys coming in and making, big breaks into the league as they are. So, I mean, possibly that. In order for them to do the limit of pro games, the NHL has to recognize the KHL, and they love pretending that league does not exist, despite it being a very successful league. Yager will attest to that, and Kovalov will attest to that. I mean, you've had plenty of players who have left the NHL to go over there, and they have that right. So until the NHL can kind of not feel so protective over their league,
problem, not
that's on them. And this is an NHL award, so that doesn't have to count. So I guess if anything, I would lower the age limit a little bit, because I think that could maybe make things really interesting and really put maybe a little more pressure on some of these very young rooks and see what they're made of. But ultimately, I like it where it is. I like Kirill Kaprizov for the Calder Cup, and that's me signing off.
I think that's that on that. Adios.
That's all we got.